I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Students and staff at Goshen High School were coping with tragedy today following word that a popular high school senior had died in a one-car crash in the town of Goshen at around 10:30 last night. Town police say 18-year-old Lance Golubinski of Goshen was driving southbound on Gates Schoolhouse Road when his car went out of control and hit a tree near the intersection with Laura Lane. Golubinski was the only one in the car. He was pinned in the wreckage and pronounced dead at the scene. Laura Lane resident Michael Urato was arriving home moments after the accident occurred.
Approaching my street, pulling in, I had noticed that there was a car that looked like it was in a ditch, but as I approached closer, I had noticed that the impact upon a huge tree there. And my neighbor across the street, Mark, went up, and I approached the car and noticed that there was somebody in the car. And we right away called for help, and they responded very quickly and tried their best to do whatever needed to extract him. But unfortunately, his injuries were too far advanced, and unfortunately, the young man passed. A very, very, very sad, very, very sad thing to see, and my heart and my condolences to the family.
The news of Golubinski's death hit hard at the Goshen High School this morning. Principal Curtis Coates said he was a popular student and an outstanding athlete.
The student was a member of the wrestling team. The student was in several advanced placement courses. He was a fine, upstanding school citizen. He was someone that you regularly see in the hallways with friends, involved in the school community. It's a tragic loss for our school community again this year to lose such a fine student. It's to be a celebratory time not only for this young man but his family and for all of our community, and instead we're dealing with tragedy. Whenever we have any kind of passing of a staff member or student, we always engage with all 4 buildings in the district with the mental health staff. We had counselors from our middle school, our intermediate school, and our elementary school in the building this morning. As the news was released via our website and all of our social media outlets, obviously the impact to our students immediately was very great. The counseling staff will stay with us as long as need be.
Town of Goshen police were continuing their investigation today. They say speed appears to have been a contributing factor in the fatal crash. After hours of debate and impassioned pleas that would fall on deaf ears, the Orange County Legislature voted to take the step needed that will lead to the sale of the county's Valley View nursing home to a private operator. By a vote of 12-9, lawmakers approved the transfer of control of Valley View to a newly created local development corporation over the objections of those in the audience, including some nursing facility patients and staff. Among the 20 or so audience members who spoke out prior to the final vote, civil rights attorney and activist Michael Sussman, who threatened legal action.
You run for election and you tell the people one thing, and you come into power and you do something else. Our people are deeply alienated from the political process. And they're deeply alienated because people like some of you who I'm looking at run for office and never tell the people what you really want to do, which is another way of saying you don't have the courage of your convictions.
Valley View is the only department in Orange County government, amongst 40 to 60 departments, I stopped counting, the only one that has cut millions of dollars for taxpayers over the last year.
After the successful privatization vote, Orange County Executive Steve Newhouse issued a statement saying the legislature had decided on a responsible path to keep Valley View open and that it's the way to keep it open for years to come. And Newhouse stated that residents of Valley View will remain residents of Valley View. Elsewhere, the Village of Washingtonville has been taken to task by the State Comptroller's office for its past handling of its finances. The report was based on an audit released today by Comptroller Thomas DiNapoli, who said the village board did not properly monitor and manage the village's financial condition. And as a result, the fund balance of all 3 major village funds decreased significantly from 2008 to 2012 due to operating deficits caused primarily by poor budgeting that resulted in revenue shortfalls and overspent appropriations. And audit findings determined the Washingtonville Village Board has not developed multi-year financial and capital plans to improve the budget development process. Local officials have informed the Comptroller's office that a corrective action plan is in the process of being completed. If you see something, say something. That advice from law enforcement apparently paying off this week in Rock Hill, where residents of the Emerald Green subdivision reported seeing a suspicious vehicle in their neighborhood. The subdivision has been the scene of several burglaries in the past few months. Deputies with the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office spotted the car and pulled it over. A check determined the plates on the vehicle had been switched and that the car had been stolen from a parking lot in Monticello. Its owner had been out of town at a family funeral. The driver, 32-year-old Kidron Anabafa of Brooklyn, has been charged with felony grand larceny. The Sullivan County Sheriff's Office is investigating to determine if Anabafa is connected to any of those recent burglaries. Words of warning once again from both state and local police departments. They will be increasing patrols and checkpoints beginning tomorrow, running through next Tuesday to go after drivers who continue to use their mobile phones. Authorities say Operation Hang Up will combine anti-texting and cell phone law enforcement. The first offense is a minimum fine of $50. That can increase to $400 for the third offense. And beginning November 1st, young and new drivers found texting while driving will have their licenses suspended for 120 days on the first offense. Second offense will bring a year-long suspension. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reports that more than 3,300 people were killed and 421,000 people injured in crashes involving distracted drivers in 2012. And this was the scene last summer on Broadway in Monticello as an estimated 5,000 people turned out for the village's first annual Bagel Festival. And for those who enjoyed the music, the activities, and yes, the bagels, fear not, there is a second annual festival in the works. Event founder Jeff Siegel has announced plans for a second festival that will be held Sunday, August 17th, and that will no doubt bolster Monticello's claim of being the bagel capital of the world. Unlike today, it doesn't look like you will need sunglasses when you get behind the wheel tomorrow. Friday will be cloudy with the chance of showers. The highs will reach the low 60s. Saturday will be a better day weather-wise, with temperatures getting up around 65 degrees under a partly sunny sky. You'll get the information you need to help start your day in tomorrow's Times-Herald Record. And anywhere news breaks, you will find it right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.